Hello everyone, JRDO96 with a brand new reaction. As you can tell by the title, it's another Ethan Nestor video, and it's a, I guess, let's talk about something here. Another one of those update vlogs. And he's like talking about his documentary, so hence the title. Let's talk about the documentary, the tour documentary that he has, coming out at this point when the time I'm filming this, within the next week. But I'm curious what he has to say here. I'm pretty sure he's like, I am so proud of how this came out. I'm really excited for you guys to see it, blah, blah, blah. That's my assumption, but might as well just get right into it and see what happens here. So, anyways, without further ado, let's react to this video, shall we?
Hello. How's it going? Good to see you. You're seeing me. I'm not seeing you. I wanted to take a second to talk about a couple of things. The main thing being the documentary that's coming up. You guys have probably heard me talk about it on stream or seen me talk about it in a couple of videos. But it's something that's super, super important to me, and it's something that and I'll explain more of the I guess, that we've been working on for over a year now. And so it's something that I really want to promote, and it's something that I want to explain more of because I want as many people to see it as possible, because it's something that we've put a lot of work in, we've put a ton of time in. And it's something that I'm very, very proud of. So I wanted to just kind of take a moment and talk about the documentary that's coming out, answer some questions that some people have had about said documentary. So if somehow you don't know already, you can go to ihavetodothis.show. And you can get tickets for the documentary. We're doing a digital premiere / release on October 27th. And if you get tickets to that, it doesn't matter what time the actual premiere is. You can watch it up to a week later, so you don't have to worry about timing on that. Or if you're in the LA area or are willing to come to the LA area, we are going to do a one-time physical premiere here in Los Angeles. There's going to be a red carpet. I'll get out on stage and say a couple of things, and then you'll be able to watch it in person. It's going to be really, really cool. It's going to be super, super fun. So you can do that. So yeah, a lot of people have had some questions about the documentary. I haven't really explained the documentary all that much, other than being like, I'm really excited, the doc is finally coming together. So I guess I'll give you guys kind of
a rundown,
a little bit of a teaser of what the documentary is. As many of you know, a little over a year and a half, almost 2 years ago at this point, that's weird, I went on tour over the pandemic. I wrote a show, and I toured it across the United States and a little bit of Canada. And it was a show that was very personal for me. It was like the hardest thing that I've ever made. It was something very different than what I make every single day. And so with that, I also started making a documentary about the tour. Since the very beginning of me writing the show and doing all the meetings and figuring things out, I started filming myself. And so I started doing just like little vlogs like this, doing little updates of like what's happening. I filmed all of the meetings. I filmed all of the rehearsals. I filmed everything. And then when the tour actually happened, we filmed the entire tour, obviously, so all the behind the scenes, we filmed all the shows, blah 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 blah. So so at the end, there was closing in on 180 hours of footage.
Good lord.
That has been condensed down to about an hour and 20 minutes.
Do you have 80 minutes?
Insane. There's a lot of different movies that could have been made out of the footage that we had. And I'm using a lot of we. Who is we? Most of the time on the channel, it's just kind of me in front of the camera. And then Justin's editing and Jocelyn's helping out with the pre-production of the videos or whatever. But with this documentary, there were many, many people that helped make it possible. The main people being Zach and Austin, who are now good buddies of mine, but they got hired on to film the second leg of the tour, and then have taken on the job of editing the actual documentary. They've made something like way better than I thought would be able to be made, and something really different than what I thought as well, because I originally thought it was just going to be kind of a fun documentary about tour and like, the good times on tour, blah 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 blah. But both of them are writers, and they've made like a really good story out of what we've shot. It's not exactly a happy movie.
Whoa, didn't expect
it shows
that.
a lot.
Wasn't
it shows a
expecting
lot of
that.
different sides of me that I don't usually show on camera. There's a lot of me being very vulnerable. There's a lot of like
Doubtful.
more sad parts in the movie because it shows a lot of the behind the scenes of me sort of like struggling in the creative process and me like being uncomfortable when we did the first rehearsal. There's so much there that's different than what I normally show on my channel. And I think that's important, and I think it's something that's really, really cool, and I think that it's something that's going to be really interesting for you guys to see. And that leads to another question that a lot of people have had, because they're like, what are we going to be seeing? If I didn't see the tour, am I going to be able to watch the documentary? Or, hey, if I saw the tour, is this going to just be the show that I already saw? So to both of those questions, the answer is no. If you didn't go and see the actual tour, you don't need any of that context in order to enjoy the documentary. The documentary gives its own, because the documentary, a lot of the first part is me creating the show, so you get all of that context from in there. And then on the flip side, if you have seen
The show.
my show, if you did see the show that I toured,
Yes.
it's very, very different from the show. There's a lot of context that you get about the show through what we filmed, but it's a completely different thing. There's actually very little actual show footage in the documentary.
Really?
Most of it is just kind of like behind the scenes and how I created it and the struggles that came along with it and stuff like that. Did you need to see my tour before watching this documentary? No. Is the documentary going to just be footage from the tour, and will somebody who've already seen the tour be bored? No, it's extremely, extremely different. But yeah, dude, I'm really, really excited. I am so proud with how everything has come together. There have been so many people that have made this thing possible. Other than Zach and Austin, like, we've done multiple shoots where we've had like entire crews. We are working with Picture Shop, who you probably know the company Technicolor. They're under Technicolor. They did the color grade for the film, so it's been so cool going to the color sessions and being like, okay, this is what we shot, and then having them color it and be like, wow, this looks like a real movie. This is so cool. And then we have Q Code doing the sound. So there are so many people that are working super hard on making this thing as good as it can be, and I am so excited. And so again, I know that it can be kind of annoying sometimes, me being like, hey, please come watch this thing, and I know that can just be, I don't know, when that's all you're seeing from me, it can be kind of annoying, but I'm doing it because this is something that I'm really proud of, and this is something that I want to do very well. And it's an event that I want to make very special. Like, apart from the actual documentary, I want to make this kind of an event. I want, for people who are watching it digitally, I want people to be really excited. I want you guys to be posting, like, your own, like, premiere photos of you getting dressed up at home for your own little red carpet. And I want anybody who can come to the LA premiere, I want everybody to get dressed up. It's gonna be such a fun event. It's at the Alex Theater in Glendale, which is a beautiful, beautiful venue. And so my entire family is going to be there.
Of course,
a ton of my friends are going to be there, which I'm so grateful for. But we're having a whole red carpet. There's going to be like a little leading up to the merch table, because we're just doing some posters. Nothing insane, but leading up to that, we're gonna have like a little Crank Gameplays museum where it's gonna just have like my play button, and there's gonna be like some different stuff that I've used in videos. We're gonna take one of Spencer's ducks. If you guys know Spencer loves his ducks, we're gonna like put that in a glass case.
God.
But we're really trying to make it a really fun event, and not only like show you guys this documentary, but give it a proper event to kind of celebrate it. Because we're really, really proud of it, and we're so excited to share it with you. So, please, if you can, come to the red carpet event in LA if you are in the LA area, or if you have friends that are in the LA area, you should be like, hey, go to this thing. And that's the other thing too. You don't have to be a fan of me to enjoy this movie, I don't think. I think you'll probably inherently enjoy it more if you are, because you already know who I am, but it explains who I am in the thing, so new people can enjoy it as well. But it's going to be really, really fun. I'm extremely, extremely excited. I'm trying to think of other questions that people have had that I haven't answered. There's an LA premiere that you can come physically. There's a digital premiere the next day. The digital premiere, you can get tickets and watch it up to a week later, so you don't have to watch it when it's premiering. You can watch it after. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long. The film is technically not rated. It has not been rated.
Why would it be?
If it were to be rated
R.
I think technically
PG-13-ish.
it would be rated R, because I think there are 3 fucks in the movie, and I think PG-13 is only allowed 1 or maybe 2. But if you saw my show / if you watch my videos normally, it's the same kind of stuff. You know, like, I'm a little bit vulgar.
Sean's
as far as ratings
documentary,
go,
I think, was not rated
about
either.
that. But I'm extremely excited. I'm extremely, extremely excited. So again, you can go to ihavetodothis.show to get both digital and in-person tickets. There's also a poster on there if you'd like the movie poster. But yeah, I would really, really love for you guys to be there, especially at the LA premiere. And I would love some help sharing this as well. If you guys can use hashtag #IHaveToDoThis on Twitter, anything like that. Me and my friends made a movie. Like, I don't like to be that guy, but like, that's kind of really cool. So if you guys can help share it around and help get people pumped, that would mean the absolute world to me. So I'm extremely excited to share it with you guys. If you haven't already, there's I'll leave in the end card down here. You can watch the trailer for it. Yeah, made a movie. I'm very excited to share it with you. So October 26th is the LA premiere. October 27th is the online digital premiere. I hope to see you there. Bye. Are you good?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so pretty much it was exactly what I thought it would be, which would be him talking about how proud he is of the tour, how the documentary came out, blah 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 blah, and he also talked about answering a bunch of questions that people probably had about it. Now, apparently, this is what he said. This is what I find more fascinating. He filmed at least over 180 hours plus footage from the moment when he started to think about and write down ideas, the meetings they had, and every moments of his vulnerability and him doubting himself, the rehearsals, and apparently they filmed every single show he did throughout the entirety of his tour, including the rehearsal show. I think the little soft preview, the little mini show that he did in Chicago in November 2021 before he fully started to do the full leg, which started around in the middle of March and went up to the end of April. And then the second leg happened in the middle of May all the way to the end of May. So I find that fascinating that he filmed every single show. That's what I find more fascinating. And he did state that most of the footage is not the tour. And I expected that, because it's like, all right, you don't have to film everything. But I'm curious on what footage would be shown. Obviously, I feel like it's also the life of, his upbringing, because the trailer kind of alluded to the upbringing of his. They showcased footage of him when he was younger doing a lot of gymnastics, because we all know he's a gymnast. And you saw some sit-down interviews from other people like Mark, Sean, and some others talking about him and stuff. So it would not surprise me if like you barely get anything from the tour. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like behind the scenes of like people coming in, some of the VIP stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if we get stuff like that, but it's kind of like almost in the similar vein of like, you know, Sean's documentary. That's what I feel like what the documentary might be like. Is Sean's documentary, the How Do We Get Here? So it wouldn't surprise me if it's a similar format. But I do remember there was a photographer, you know, that was there at the show in New York. She had a gray hairdo and she had a weird ass hairdo, you know, and stuff like that. And she was, you know, taking photos, taking pictures of like during, you know, like for example during the VIP Q&A, and then also some points during the show, like in between the intermission between the VIP stuff and the actual show, maybe at some points during the show. But you know, it's one of those things where I'm pretty sure that probably will be featured in like the credits or some nonsense. And it seems like unfortunately I did not think about going to the extent of sending him hundreds of dollars for that OnlyFans funding. Yeah, I did not go to that extent, and you know, to have my name in the credits. But there will be some people that will. Good for them. Hopefully that cranky cock was worth it. But anyways, I think overall I really am looking forward to the actual documentary when it does come out. Unfortunately, I won't be able to actually watch it when it actually premieres, like I have before with, you know, Sean's documentary and also Mark's, you know, Mother's Korean documentary. I'll be working that night, so I have to probably wait till the moment I get home from work, which I usually get home around 11 o'clock at night or so, depending on what's going on. So it's going to be a pretty interesting night, you know. So unfortunately, obviously, he's doing that physical premiere in LA in a movie theater. So we all know that. But, you know, it's the... Man, I still got to do the story time, you know, esque video about my experience going to the show. Going to his, you know, tour. I still got to do it, and I wish I was able to do it when it was still fresh in my mind. Because I vaguely remember the majority of what was going on. Only key moments that I remember vividly is like at one point there was a point where one person from the audience would play the triangle. There was a point where there was like a little pop quiz type thing with 3, you know, fans. There was a ending speech, an epic speech, and there was at one point a lot of the fans were giving him shit in a sense, begging him to do a backflip, and he was being very, very, you know, trying to be very polite about it and saying no, but at one point he just said, "Shut the fuck up!" He was getting so fed up. And even I've heard apparently another show that he did later on, he did say, yeah, New York was very rowdy. And I wasn't being rowdy at that show. I was kind of being like, come on guys, knock it off. He ain't doing it. This is not the backflip show. I have to do this. You know what I mean? But, and another vivid memory I have from that show was there was a girl in a row ahead of me. I think in the front row, no less. And every once in a while, like, after every punchline of some, pretty much, or every time after he finished talking, this girl will go, "Woo!" That's all I remember, too. I remember that, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? I'm just thinking to myself, what the fuck is that for? And also, and obviously the only footage I vaguely mostly know is from the VIP Q&A. That's about it, because I filmed it. I filmed as much of it as I could, you know? Including the moment when I have my interaction with him, where I'm looking like a stuttering motherfucker, like I'm literally, like, the pressure was on me, because I'm like, everybody's looking at me like, who's this schmuck? You know? But I have no regrets about my experience with the show, but I still have to do that. You know, my story time video on that, and also story time about, you know, the times that I've gotten, you know, I've interacted or been noticed by Mark, because, you know, especially this year alone, I think it happened twice this year, which is interesting. And I don't want to like come off as me bragging, but, you know, I want to like give like backstory about it and stuff. You know what I mean? But anyways, enough rambling. I honestly am looking forward to the documentary when it does come out. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of the vacation squad. Be sure to check out my Instagram because I make cool ads at Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and myself. Irish Actors of Cosplays on there, so go check it out. And be sure to check out my Tumblr and my Discord in the description as well. So until next time, JRD96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!